I'm going to keep this short and sweet as possible. So if you watched my last video, I told you that I would touch and make this video about martial arts and schools and things like that. So here we go. First and foremost, if if I live long enough to get my own martial arts studio, whatever, if I can get what I need to get this done, I've only really wanted to make movies so that I could teach martial arts for free. That's it. I only want to make movies so I can support the martial art dojo and teach underprivileged kids and all other kids martial arts and women as well for free. I don't want to be one of those martial artists who take you for every dime you got and teach you next to nothing. Yeah, I wanted to teach Kung Fu for free. I wanted to make movies where I teach Kung Fu for free, and I have a system that I'm pretty sure would work. I also have a policy of two things. I personally check your range of motion because this is the only way I can teach you what I know and what will work for your body type. And two, no black belts, no board breaking, no brick breaking, and you fight for your belt. That's even though I just said no belts. When I meant fight for your belts, it would give you your standing. All right, and in the dojo, you're not going to have a full on, full contact fight for your ranking. All right, let me establish that you will be in pads, and I will set the tone. All right, here's how. This is probably going to piss everybody off who's a martial artist now watching. This is how I'm going to set the tone. All right. First off, I'm not really down with child on child violence, but if you're gonna aspire for your ranking, I'm gonna make sure that everything I teach you is effective and that it works. So you're going to have to use it. If you beat one of your fellow students that's ranking in the same class as you, you become the higher ranker and bigger belt or whatever. We'll figure out a system about that later. Got to get the dojo first. So we'll figure that out. I may incorporate belts, but they're just for like your progression, or I may do like kung fu classes and incorporate sashes, or I may just incorporate something that no school has. Period. You know, I could always do like my favorite WMAC Masters and have you have a Dragon Star type belt where rank 1, rank 2, rank 3, rank 4, expert. Done. You know, and why would I only have you have 5 ranks? Because after you become expert, to be a true master, you must learn when to fight and when not to fight. What is a good situation to walk away from and what is not. So when I rank you, I will have you fight some of the top students. Don't worry, like I said, you would be pads. There will be pads. There will be no injuries or that shit allowed. And I'm teaching you to do. There also, when you're testing, there will be a set of rules that you will follow. Even though I will teach you to break arms and legs, when you're testing, that is not allowed. That is not allowed. We'll find a way to substitute that, because I'm going to be the professional judge in that shit. But I have a way of how I plan on teaching people, and I would prefer to implement it. I've always hated breaking boards and breaking bricks. I've always said that has nothing to do with martial arts. And the fact of the matter is, people use it as a test of might, and it's not originally out of Asia, at least not that I know of. If it is, it's new to me because when I was taking freestyle karate and when I converted over to kung fu, there was no brick breaking, there was no block breaking, and you learned where to kick, where to punch, how to punch. That's it, and that's the system that I plan on implementing. You know, if I have to have belts, I would rather it be like the WMAC Masters belts or a sash versus white belt, yellow belt, green belt, blue belt, orange belt, brown belt, red belt, black belt. Because like 7, 8, 9 belts or whatever. Because it depends on if you have like levels in your belts. Like, all right, first degree white belt. You got a little yellow thing. And you got to get the 7th degree white belt before you can get to a freaking yellow belt. And I'm like, that kind of sucks. Because when I was taking Taekwondo at the inner stairway with Mr. Ennis, I had to get 7 white belts to get a yellow belt. Or I could skip that and go for a yellow belt testing. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not your traditional martial artist. I'm not the guy who tells you you're going to go from the beginning. Yeah, horse stance, you you got to relearn stuff. I'm not that. I'm the guy that's going to tell you, let me see what you can do so I can see what I can teach you, if I even need to teach you at all. That might not make a lot of sense to the McDonald's style martial artist where I'm going to keep you doing horse fists for about 4 or 5 weeks. Then about the 5th or 6th week, I'm going to start teaching you super blocks and kicks and stuff. Now I'm teaching you everything from the fucking jump. Now I will exercise you with the horse stance, the blocks. You know, I will exercise you and I will test you on that at least twice a day in the class, just to make sure you're paying attention. But they won't be like paramount. Because if you're coming to a martial arts school, common sense should kick in somewhere, and you should already know that if you're going to get in a fight, you need to know how to cover up. That's just my policy. You should not walk into this dojo under a particular age and not know how to cover up. Now, if you've been blessed and never been in a fight before, ever in your life, and you walk into the dojo and you're like 13, 14 years old, and you don't know anything about covering up, okay, now I got to work with you on that. Because you just don't know. But if you've been like in juvenile scuffles and you've been in a couple of tournaments and things, then you already know that you need to cover the hell up. And if you're not gonna cover up, you get hit, it's on you. Okay? I'm not gonna say it's like the school of hard knocks, but it's gonna be the school of hard knock common sense in case I have to knock some common sense into you. Now I know that sounds exceptionally brutal and twisted and wrong, and I probably pissed off a bunch of martial artists, but the truth of the matter is, everyone really knows martial arts. You come to senseis and sifus to open the door to unlock your true potential on how far you will go. And then when you leave that dojo, you go home and you practice. You practice until you can't. When you come back to the dojo, you show me what you practice. And if it's effective and it works, you go on up a level. No, that's just the way I see it. But in all the facts of the matter, I want to teach Kung Fu for free. Period. I don't want you paying me for you to sit here and learn snake. I don't want you paying me for you to learn the dragon. That was the tiger, excuse me. The dragon, the tiger, the snake, the crane, the mantis. I don't want you paying me for that. I want you to come to school and learn the shit so that when you walk out that door, if someone jumps out the bushes, boom, you can elbow the shit out of them and call it a day. Now the thing is, I talk to people about this all the time because I've had some adventures growing up, and I bumped into a few guys who reputation was they're good fighters. Well, my reputation was I'm a lucky punk bitch, and I'm okay with that because they come to find out that they're not the good fighters, and I'm not the lucky punk bitch. It was reversed. I've been fighting since I was 6 years old, and people often tell me it's better to be lucky than skillful. I always tell people it's better to have a combination of both because there's always going to be somebody who's more skillful. But I also have this philosophy of, the trick to any fight is you have to make contact. And if you don't get that first shot in, it ain't going to matter how good of a fighter you are. If that other guy gets a lucky shot in and he knows a lot about body mechanics, he's going to sleep. I'm going to teach you how to avoid that shit by teaching you everything that you need to know. Now, here's where the trick comes in. Anything I teach you, you need to go home and practice that shit until you can. You need to eat it, breathe it, sleep it, and you need to train every damn day. When you're not at the dojo training, you need to be at home training. Period. Ghostman technique. You need to take all that in. You need to be able to train because if you don't train, then the only thing I done told you how to do is exercise. We're going to get enough of that when you come in because like the first 5 minutes of the damn thing, I'll probably make you do jumping jacks or get a jump rope and do some things that's going to break you down long enough for you can get that little bit going. And then I'm going to overzealously start teaching you shit that you can use. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, well, James, that's an interesting way you got of going about teaching martial arts. Okay, well, let me break it down for you. When I was but a boy, from the age of 6 to the age of 12, my uncles, who will remain nameless, had me fighting after school, during the weekends, whenever they could get a hold of me. I was forced to fight. And the thing was about that is all my uncles were over 6 feet, and here I was barely 4'2". And they got me fighting kids that's like 5'4", 5'11", and I gotta whoop their ass. Because if I don't whoop their ass, my uncles are going to whoop my ass. That was all the motivation I needed because I was scared of them. And I got into these fights thinking, am I more scared of the guy across the field or am I more scared of the 4 guys behind me who are fucking huge, some with military training? I think I'll take my chances with the guy across the field. Never lost those fights until my dad grabbed my ass. Now, on the downside of that, every fight that I ever lost was by a girl. My big sister used to whoop my ass all the fucking time until I turned 15. Then we had a mutual understanding. That was just that simple. I wasn't her punching bag any fucking more. And all the fights I had as a teenager outside of the ass whoopings that my sister gave me, I never lost. Now, I've lost quite a few sparring matches, but they're sparring matches. They're not real. People have thrown sparring matches in my face plenty of times. Well, remember that time, remember that time, remember that time. And the quickest way to shut somebody up when they're throwing shit like that in your face is tell them, well, we got 2 ways to solve this problem. Since you want to keep throwing that in my face, why don't you step up and try it yourself? Or why don't you shut up before I shut you up by rearranging your dental work? It's probably not the best thing to say as a martial artist. It's probably not the best thing to tell people on video who's watching you. But the truth of the matter is, people are going to pick on you. And you need to either learn how to walk away, or you better learn how to defend yourself. Because if you run your mouth, somebody might punch you in it. So it's best to learn how to walk away until you can't. But if you get into a place where you can't walk away, then it's best to learn how to fight. Might does not always make right, but it don't hurt to have a little bit of it. So within that, if this ever happens, if my career ever takes off and I get enough money to get a dojo, you better believe my way is the only way it's going to work out. I'm James Williams Jr., Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Like I said, the channel is called Kung Fu Havoc number 2. So I'm going to teach you some Kung Fu Havoc. So when you're out there in the world, you're going to be able to unleash the beast if someone bothers you. Now, I'm not going to teach you so you can go out and just start beating the hell out of people just to see what works, or get yourself in scenarios that you can't get out of because you decided, well, I learned this shit from James. Let me go see if it works. Trust me, it's going to work. You just have to be able to practice. You have to make it a way of life. It can't just be an exercise. It can't just be some program that you decide, I'm going to the YMCA, I'm going to learn a little bit of karate, and I'm going to pray that this shit works. If you do not use it, your ass is going to lose it. I'm James Williams Jr., Kung Fu Havoc number 2. Be seeing you.